Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about a scene from the film Letzte, Mann, which was directed by F.W. Murnau in 1924. Letzte, Mann is a story about a longtime bellhop worker at a hotel who is demoted to work in the bathroom at the hotel due to sitting on the job. The man feels ashamed about his new position, and therefore it leads him to steal the uniform at night and take it home to make it seem as though his job is still intact. He comes home to his daughter's wedding, which he had to miss for work, in his old job's uniform, and nobody suspects that he no longer has that job. The scene that I chose to represent in this film as an argument towards the idea that film is more than just filmed theater comes about halfway through the film. What happens before the scene is the main character gets very drunk at his daughter's wedding in order to forget his unfortunate employment situation. The man wakes up very hungover and has to walk to work feeling very woozy and dizzy. In order to show this is done through a number of camera angles and camera perspectives that are impossible to show in theater. At around the time of 44 minutes into the film, the shot shows what the man would be seeing. This is done by the use of a POV shot, which shows the perspective of the character. The shot is also dramatically panning up and down and seems to be done in a shaky handheld shot. Both of these were added to create the effect of wooziness and dizziness that the character is feeling from being hungover. These kinds of additional shots would not be available in theater. The POV shot connects the audience to the character's hangover symptoms, which overall creates a more intimate understanding of the pain that the main character was going through in that scene. This POV shot overall added to the exposition of the story. Considering there is no audio aside from the score, the story is reliant on the expression of the characters and what the shot tells us. The director, F.W. Murnau, does a fantastic job at storytelling through these kinds of shots. The distinction of types of storytelling is another reason why the film is a different art form than theater. The stories in theater rely much more on the script and the audio of the story. It seems as though the aspect of the scene, or another aspect of the scene, that was used to create a more intimate feeling of the dizziness and wooziness of the main character was the use of a soft filter on the camera lens. Soft filters were added to the camera lens to give the POV shot a more blurry look, or any really look, but in this case, a blurry look. This added to the perspective of the main character's hangover. As Professor Eric Ganola said in the introduction video to this film, the use of non-verbal storytelling is extremely impressive. The director really took the idea of telling a silent story through the film medium and perfected it. The expressions of the characters and how they interact with the actual shot are very symbiotic, which creates a fluidity of the story. In theater, a silent story would be nearly impossible and simply would not have the same use as it does in film. Famous director Stanley Kubrick once said, "A film is, or should be, more like music than fiction. It should be a progression of moods and feelings." The theme, what's behind the emotion, the meaning, all of that comes later. I believe that director F.W. Murnau really takes this idea that storytelling is done through feelings and emotions, considering that's all he had to really work with and all he had to tell the story itself. The progression of the image and expression of the characters in that scene I chose really highlight what Stanley Kubrick is saying. The main character's hunched over body language and disoriented looking around makes the scene easily understood in terms of connecting with the idea that he is hungover and feeling very woozy as he walks to work. In the grand scheme of the whole movie, the progression of the main character's body language and facial expression helps show the gradual decline of his confidence and overall happiness. When he becomes fortunately rich at the end of the film, he then has good posture and happy facial expressions again, which shows the upswing of this fortune. All of this was done by use of camera angles, camera shots, body language, and facial expressions, which all are very specific to the film medium and would not have the same effect in theater.